Namaskar. My name is Raj and I welcome you to my channel Seeking Raj. Today we are going to understand karmic patterns, karmic relationships with the help of a movie called Goodwill Hunting. So I found that this movie highlights a karmic pattern and people in the same soul group, how they heal each other. So the movie is about a boy genius called Will Hunting and how he sabotages every relationship he is a part of because he cannot process or understand deep emotions and it doesn't let anybody inside of him. And how Shaun from the same soul group helps him understand this pattern, provides him a safe environment, and then finally breaks it. So, Will had a very troubled childhood where he used to provoke his toxic and alcoholic father, who, after a few drinks every night, would get violent, and Will would pick up a fight with him to protect his mother. But during this process, Will developed a very sharp instinct and he used to preempt moves of his father, try to avoid beating or in planning how not to provoke him. So Will had a problem with bullies. He makes a gang and gets involved in a lot of street fights. So he used to get arrested a lot. But due to his sharp mind, he learned certain ways to evade the system and he would almost every time get a bail. But one day, Will gets arrested for a street fight, and this judge was in no mood for a nonsense. He said, "You hit a cop, you're going to jail." So this time, all Will's intelligent arguments were in vain because judge was not ready to listen. So now Will had to serve time. Just before this street fight, Will was working as a janitor in the most prestigious college in the state where he used to solve complex maths problems right on the board and professor wondered who is doing such complex mathematics. He finds out that it was Will. So he decides to bail him out. But the judge said, "I'll bail him out on two conditions that he will have to do some math and he will also have to see a counselor." Now, this professor takes Will to a lot of counselors, but Will, the smart guy that he is, he outwits every counselor, preempt their moves, and just ridicules the entire process until he meets Shaun. Shaun has the same background as Will, and he understands where this boy is coming from. So, as you can see in this clip, Will finds out Shaun's weakness and he insults him. He insults his wife and says that you were married to the wrong woman. And Shaun reacts violently because that is his weak spot. And he was able to get under Shaun's skin. When Shaun quietly sat down, he realized that this boy had an intelligent mind, but he didn't have life's experiences. So he was trying to calculate every move from the information that was available to him, but he did not experience anything. He did not experience love, affection, care in life. And that is why he did not trust anybody. And he was so violent and dismissive towards people. So Shaun confronts him, as you can see in this clip, and he says that you have not experienced love. You do not understand genuine love, concern, and care for anybody. And he outwits Will because Will doesn't have an answer because he really hadn't had any experience. So Will decides to attend these sessions. Will takes a little bit of time to open up, but he shared a lot of things in common with Shaun. So eventually they became comfortable with each other. And Will started opening up about his life a little bit to Shaun. During these sessions, Will meets a wonderful woman. She's fun, she's caring, and she's a great catch. Everything goes well when the discussions are at surface level, where Will lies about his background. He doesn't want to address that part. He doesn't want her to open up that book. And he's thinking that this relationship will eventually end. So I do not want to open up my past, my traumatic past to anybody. And I don't want her to find any of my weakness and exploit it. But then the first challenge in the relationship comes. As you can see in this clip, his girlfriend says that she's moving to California and she wants Will to come with her. And now Will's insecurities, his trauma, comes right into the surface where he feels that this girl is going to go there, find somebody, get married, and I will be left alone, abandoned in a new city. Even before making any effort to make this relationship work, he reacts violently through all his insecurities, as you can see. She catches on to that. During this time, she realizes that he is scared of something. So she asks him, "What are you scared of?" She tries to address his fear of abandonment and betrayal. So as soon as she tries to get under his skin, he breaks up the relationship preemptively. breaks her heart, and goes away. This is Will's karmic pattern, where he had been in relationships before, but not to a point where he had to see the true feelings about how he felt in any relationship but this one. This was the only relationship which addressed his insecurities, and he had to act out this entire scene. Will's relationship with Shaun was improving because Will was putting Shaun through certain tests, and he was getting comfortable because Shaun was providing him that comfort of a friend. But one day, as you can see in this scene, that Shaun is looking at Will's file, and Will doesn't want to talk about his past. But then they got talking. Shaun pushed him a little bit more, and Will says, I don't expect this from you. I thought we were friends and you would react in a different way. You'll care, you'll protect those things, you won't bring that up. But Sean understands that now is the time, and he says it's not your fault. He says it's not your fault. Let's understand this. So, Will has developed a personality where he had to look very strong for the entire world, hiding his feelings, and he doesn't let anybody get in because he comes out so strong, anybody tries to get under his skin. He's developed those survival instincts, push anyone who tries to come anywhere near his feelings and tries to push him back a little bit. Sean says that because he understands that Will had gone through a lot of trauma, and he blamed himself for his childhood and for things that happened to him, even though it was not his fault. It was the circumstances that he was put in, that he had to develop these survival instincts where he had to hide his emotions so much that he doesn't get hurt and he comes out strong for everybody. But really, he was guilty. He was blaming himself. He was self loathing inside. And Sean identified that. So he said, it's not your fault that you were put through those situations. And he says this again and again and again to assure him that Sean believes it. And now Will also believes it. So Will drops his guards at that moment for Sean, and he lets him in. And that is how Will breaks this karmic pattern. Sean felt it, what Will felt. He knew what Will had to go through every single day, how he blamed himself every day of his life. And that is the role of a psychiatrist. He has to feel empathy towards the person he's healing, he's treating, and he has to feel what that other person is feeling. That is why Will, in these sessions, realize that yes, Sean is empathetic towards me and he means no harm. But going through this process with Will, Sean also realizes that he's also stuck with the grief of losing his wife, who he loved so dearly. And now he also took a break from his university job and wanted to travel the world and see what life has in store for him. This is a way where people in the same soul group heal each other. In the next episode, we discuss about a movie called Seabiscuit, where a horse heals his trainer, his owner, and his jockey. They are all from the same soul group and how they heal each other. My name is Raj. You were watching my channel, Seeking Raj. Namaskar.